So I just listened to Cardi B's new album, Am I the Drama? First of all, Chad, apologies. I'm on my walk. It's late at night here in Accra, Ghana. My evening walk. The lighting is bad. I haven't taken a shower all day, so I look a hot mess, smell a hot mess, Chad. So apologies, but I just thought to hop on here and talk about this because if I go home, take a shower, the spirit might leave, Chad. So this is my honest opinion. Man, first of all, shout out to Cardi B for doing her thing, whatever that is, and no shade. And I mean this because I know that writing is not easy. I'm a writer myself. I'm a poet. I've written and published a couple of poetries, including spoken word poetry. And I've also written so many raps. A lot of people don't know this. I've written so many raps, some of which I've shared on my YouTube, my spoken word YouTube, and a whole lot of raps that I've written, in my archive that I have not published or, done anything with. It's just a way of me journaling my thoughts, It's a very deeply spiritual, deeply personal thing for me. And it's not easy. It's not easy to write these things. Sometimes it takes me years to write these things, and sometimes it can take a couple of minutes because it just flows. So it's not easy for anyone to write. It's not easy for anyone to rhyme. For anyone to even speak or rap on beat is not easy. So shout out to you, girl, for doing your thing. And I think it took her like 7 or 8 years to release this album. And this is my honest opinion. Chad, I'm gonna give the album 4 out of 10. And I don't mean no disrespect. The first track was dope. It was banging. I felt like came from the soul. The first couple of tracks were also dope too. But I feel like after like track number 7, it fell off. It felt rushed to me. And it's not because she didn't have enough time. I feel like, yes, of course, she had a lot of time, 7, 8 years to write this. But I feel like with so much shit that's going on with her, for these 8 years or 7 years, she got married, had a bunch of kids. She's pregnant for baby number, 3 or 4, Chad? You know what I'm saying? All kinds of drama. I feel like she probably got so jaded with the industry. Like she also segued into other things like fashion, cooking, entrepreneurship, and all kinds of shit that she got going on. And she felt so disillusioned, I think that's a word, from the industry. But then at the same time, too, she's already established a fan base. There's an expectation, for her to maintain, because that's how she came into the scene as a rapper. In order for you to maintain that title, you have to actually rap, you know what I'm saying? Especially considering how male-dominated black male-dominated rap industry is, as opposed to someone like Rihanna who's in pop or whatever that is, Chad. And she was able to just walk away and do her thing and still is relevant as an American singer and businesswoman. So I feel like it was rushed. I feel like a lot of the tracks on there were just, Chad, girl. For me, writing rap and poetry is a very spiritual thing, like I'm a very, very, very deep ass person, Chad. And I just wasn't getting anything deep in this album. It was just, my coochie this, my pussy this, I am better than you, I'm flashier than you, more pretty, face pretty, all kinds. It's just vain and just, surface level. But then at the same time, too, it's just the industry, Chat. It is what it is. Half these people, they just give the word what they want to, consume. A lot of these fan bases are vain and shallow. So this is what sells. And honestly, I feel like a lot of this is because she's good looking, body is nice and things like that. If she was an average looking woman, black woman, dark skinned black woman, people will pay her dust because, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that she does not have talent. She definitely does have talent, but honestly, girl, I would not be downloading this shit, no offense. I would not be listening to a lot of this twice, honestly, and which is quite unfortunate because the first album was dope. It was banging. Some songs were hits, some songs were misses, but, for the most part, the first album was banging. I downloaded it. I'm still listening to a lot of those songs from the first album till today, but this album, I may have to listen to a couple of times, you know what I'm saying? But the first couple of tracks were dope, but the rest of it, it's all good. I did like the tracks where she talked about Offset, her relationship with Offset, especially when she was the one she sang with, I think it was Lizzo. I like Lizzo's voice. Shout out to Lizzo, Chad. I like how she got very poetic with that. It was deep, it was genuine, it was honest. I feel like she probably even wrote that herself. I like that. It was some type of depth to it. But a lot of it was just, killing these hoes and my pussy this and my face is prettier. Which is fine because we're not prude out here. I'm very open-minded, 100%. Like nothing wows me, honestly. But I feel like with the shallowness, what else? What else? I want to see diversity. I want to see like a 360. Like, what else are you able to do? Like something very deep. Like, I want you to just, like give me goosebumps. Like, I want to listen to you, like with the word flow. I want to think about something deep. I want to cry with you. I want to get goosebumps. You know what I'm saying? I want to shake my ass too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want all of it. All of this is art. It should come from the soul. And I just was not getting that. Which is so ironic considering how much money these people make. So ironic. Like, y'all make so much money, millions, just to produce something that is really average, honestly, which is also indicative of the vanity of this world. Because I believe that there are some people, some regular schmegler looking people out there who have better, doper talents. And I'm not trying to shade Cardi or people like Cardi. No, no disrespect. But you'd be surprised what your neighbor could produce. You could be surprised what you can produce. You'd be surprised what, the person who is darker skinned, the person who's overweight, the person who's older, the person who was born in a third world country can produce. But just because they don't have the privilege, they don't have the good looks, they don't have the yellowness, they don't have the Americanness, they don't have the fat ass, they don't have anyone. They're just marching to their graves unaccomplished. And, because this vain world tells us that only these kind of people are allowed to succeed. This is why we keep getting the same repetitive lyrics with these people. Everybody look the same, Chad. Everybody's yellow bone. The same lace fronts. The same ass and titties. The same build. The same my pussy this, my that, Chad. Hey, Chineke na. I think it's so unfortunate what this world has become, how capitalistic it is that anybody, in order for you to make it, you have to just be so vain, just so vain. I know one of the tracks, she was talking about how, basically bragging about her beauty, how somebody's looking for their man, but the man is underneath her. But I'm like, girl, that's your man. Your man was underneath somebody else, so you have the audacity to get in your feelings. You lose them how you get them. But then that's what capitalism does, Chad. Have everybody in this rat race of vanity, anything for a bag. And I'm not trying to be prude, I'm not trying to be rude, shout out to Cardi. I definitely am a fan of some of her music. She's definitely not the best lyricist, and we know she doesn't write a lot of her stuff. But she is very talented in her own way. And she's a very beautiful woman, I'm not going to get in between this whole female rap beef, comparing her with anyone. She is who she is, and it is what it is. But I feel like someone like Cardi B needs a lot of soul searching to do, Chad. Girl, maybe rapping is not your thing. And perhaps rapping is your thing, but you take your time. If it takes you 10 years to release something, it takes you 10 years to release something. Hell, if it takes you 20 years to release something, I do think that she got it. She got the voice, she got the flow, she got the body, she got the visuals. Cardi is like a walking Barbie. But at the same time, too, focus on whatever it is that your heart gravitates towards. Perhaps it's not rap. Maybe it's, fashion, like you've been doing. Maybe it's, what's it called, Chad? Outfits, runway models and shit. Entrepreneurship, all kinds of other shit. Just, focus on that. You're blessed to have a platform. You're blessed to have a fan base, and just keep pushing that. And you rap whenever it feels right to you. I think that's where you're able to connect with most of your audience. Like, I feel like those first few tracks, especially that very first one, I feel like it came from her soul. I think this is probably when she was actually really into it. Like, she probably wrote that like 7 years ago, Chad. But eventually, it just became she became jaded. And a lot of those tracks were just like, let it be said that I have tracks on here. So it's not just 10 tracks, like it's just a bunch of filler tracks. I don't know, that's how I feel. I would not be listening to it again, probably not. I would not be downloading it. I don't think it is her best work yet. I think Cardi B is very talented. I think she has the potential for more, but this was just flat for me. And I mean this respectfully. No shade at all. Not trying to bring her down or compare her to anybody else. This is just my honest truth. Uche, peace and love, Chad.